Football with friends is fun as hell. My name is Alex Dunlap here with Cody Carpentier on a big Friday, a Final Takes Friday. So pumped to be here with you guys live here for the last time for a couple days as Cody is talking before the show about how he's moving into a nice new apartment with a view over the water in Charleston, South Carolina, where there's actually going to be a Publix inside his apartment complex. So next time you see Cody,
giving away my location.
Next time you see Cody, he'll be holding two big chicken tender subs, man. Final takes. You guys know the rules. We're going to throw up some topics. We're going to talk about them. You guys can vote on who has the best final takes, who will be king of final takes for this week. We'll also be back next week live for final takes. So, Cody, you think we should just get into it?
Final takes, baby. I'm going to put the voting up right now.
Do you want to start with your Oklahoma cockamamie thing, or do you want me to? I have this first one that I kind of wanted to ask you about.
Rip it.
All right. So do you agree with this? So there's this article from The Athletic, stock up or down, analyzing the offseason for every 2024 college football playoff team. Okay.
Oh, boy.
So let's just go through them and you tell me whether you think that their stock is up or down.
I have not seen these or heard these yet.
Okay. So I'll tell you who's staying. So they list out who's staying, who's coming, and who's going. And then they say a verdict, whether the stock is up or the stock down. Okay. So Ohio State. So staying, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, offensive lineman Carson Hintzman, linebacker Sonny Styles, safety Caleb Downs. They got CJ Donaldson from West Virginia, Max Clare from Purdue. They got Bo Atkinson, a defensive lineman from North Carolina, number 4 recruiting class in the country. But leaving is Will Howard, Travion Henderson, Judkins, Egbuka, Donovan Jackson, Simmons, Sawyer, JTT, Cody Simon, Denzel Burt. Stock up or stock down?
Stock down. What's the ratios here? Is it just up, down, or there's no numbers?
Up or down. Yep.
Up, down.
That's what they said. Okay, Notre Dame. You know who's staying? It's guys like Jeremiah Love, Greathouse, Jadarian Price. They got some offensive linemen coming back. Drake Bowen, the linebacker. They have Malachi Fields coming in from Virginia. They have another wide receiver from Wisconsin, Will Pauling, number 12 recruiting class in the nation, but leaving, Riley Leonard, Mitchell Evans, Pat Coogan.
Coogan. Wait. You said he's staying?
No, he's leaving. He actually went to Indiana.
Yeah.
They lost it. They also lost that other offensive lineman.
Well, I'm just saying they're down because they lost the quarterback.
Verdict is down. Penn State. So they have Drew Aller staying, Katron Allen, Nick Singleton. Of course, we know who they lost. They lost Tyler Warren and Abdul Carter. They also got a grip of they got 3 new wide receivers coming in: Kyron Hudson from USC, Traber Pena from Syracuse, and Devontae Ross from Troy. Number 15 recruiting class in the nation. Up or down?
Up.
Okay, I don't need to read you Texas. Is up. Texas up or down?
Up.
You've got them all right so far. Arizona State. You know that they lost Scadaboo. That's mainly it. They're getting Sam Levitt back.
I think that's literally it, isn't it? That was the only guy they had to combine.
Yeah.
And I think they lost a couple in the portal, but they got Levitt back. Tyson's going to be healthy. I think they've done well in the recruiting. I think they're going to be a stock up as well.
Up. Boise State.
That's a given.
What? Down. Okay. Just Ashton Genty. Georgia.
This one's interesting.
Gunnar Stockton's coming back. Nate Frazier's coming back. Dylan Bell is coming back. A couple linebackers. They got Zachariah Branch coming in. They have Noah Thomas, the transfer from A&M. They have the number 2 recruiting class in the nation, but they are. It looks like Trevor Etienne is gone. Dominic Lovett, Arian Smith, Tate Ratledge, and we know Mikael Williams, Jalen Carter, Malachi Starks.
I think they're probably down.
You've gotten all these right. Oregon, you know how you know who all they lost, but they do have
Oregon's. I'm gonna go. They got Isaiah World. They got They got
Yeah.
our
We got
Pregnon,
yeah,
Decorian Moore.
Bear Alexander, number 5 recruiting class in the nation.
It it really comes down to, again, quarterback. Like we've talked a lot of these positions. I think they think Dante Moore is going to be good enough. It really depends on who wrote the article. Who wrote the article?
I'll scroll to the top here. I don't know.
I mean, because the Dylan Gabriel
Antonio Morales.
who?
Antonio Morales, whoever that is.
I don't know who the hell that is, but I mean, it carries weight that Dylan Gabriel played 60 games. This could be either way. I'm gonna go up because they kept their receiving core. They got better with Decorian. Their offensive line's better. I'm gonna go up. I could go down though because they lost quarterback. Quarterback's heavy here, but I'm gonna go up.
Down. That's the only one you got wrong. Clemson. You know what Clemson's going to be.
Up.
Indiana.
Down. Off the hook.
It's just lost their quarterback. It's funny. One of the guys that they said that they lost was Jameer Johnson, former Longhorn. He transferred to UCLA. And then Stanford.
What? Stanford didn't make it.
I'm sorry, not Stanford. I'm reading where one of these guys transferred. Staying. So they're keeping SMU. So they're keeping Kevin Jennings, their wide receiver Jordan Hudson. They lost LJ Johnson, their running back, to Cal. We know they lost Brashard Smith. They got a quarterback, Tyler Van Dyke, coming in from Wisconsin. They got some like wide receiver from James Madison.
Indiana still? Is this what they're talking about?
No, sorry, SMU.
SMU.
Kevin Jennings returns.
I think I could if I could give you a nothing burger, I'd give you a nothing burger. I'll go up.
Okay, and then finally Tennessee.
Is that right?
No, it's down.
God.
And then Tennessee. What do you think?
Down.
I think I skipped over in Indiana somehow.
No, I said down for Indiana. We just didn't go over who they lost. They lost Curtis Rourke and they lost like 4.
You got them all except for 2.
So I was 10-2.
10-2. So there's probably some extra votes for Cody there in final takes. I was thinking I could stump you and make you look like a fool. All right, what's your Oklahoma one?
All right. I didn't write it in here, but I'll just write it. This is what I put on Orange Bloods in a column. I said, is Oklahoma going broke? So the note that came out today, according to Matt Brown, Matt Brown, if you go over on Twitter, he is a founder and publisher of Extra Points MB. I don't know what the hell that is. But anyway, he reports that in the OU Daily, the Oklahoma student newspaper reports that athletic department will lay off 15 people and cut approximately 5% of their budget. And AD, athletic director Joe Castiglione, will adjust his compensation, according to himself. There's a number of notes in here amongst.
Does that all have to do with the athletic stuff and the rev share?
That has everything to do with the rev share. That was the theory of what that was built on. Is they're basically saying with the rev share stuff coming through, we're going to be making these adjustments. And then the other tweet that came out was from the front office sports, and they said, Castiglione said, I will be adjusting my compensation, and that 5% of the athletic department staff will be cut due to, or laid off due to looming revenue sharing with athletes. And then this column, if you go over in Orange Bloods and read it, it goes over a number of their spendings this year. Paying linebacker coach Nate Drelling $285,000, an extra $165,000 annually for activities and stuff, bonuses. It goes over like Nagy's stuff, a gymnastics coach.
How much is
$1
Nagy
million?
How much is Nagy getting paid?
Jim Nagy's contract is at, where did it go? Nagy's base salary is $300,000 with an additional $450,000 annually for athletics related engagements and activities. He will receive a raise to $550,000 next February and $650,000 the following February. So $300,000 to $550,000 to $650,000 for the next 3 years. Other notables are an annual $1 million contract for women's gymnastics head coach KJ Kindler. That happened. The women's head coach gets $625,000. An $100,000 increase in additional and outside income for men's basketball coach. A 6-year. These are all things that
trying to
happened
save
in June
money
of
or trying to spend
2024.
more money?
These are all things that happened in June of 2024 and were approved by the board. And now, fast forward a year, they paid safeties coach Brandon Hall, Jim Nagy, linebacker coach Nate Drilling, and now today they're announcing this cut. So these are the payments in the last year, or the announcements.
Were they
June,
getting rid of 15 people on the student newspaper?
huh?
What, were they getting rid of some people on the student newspaper and stuff?
No. Staff.
In the bucket.
So like this, like who would you? I mean, how good is Oklahoma's gymnastics? Is it top of the line?
I don't know.
They claim they won the 2025 national title over UCLA.
Okay.
They're probably not going to cut that sport, even though $1 million is $1 million. I mean, would you rather pay a quarterback $1 million for your football team or pay the gymnastics?
I don't know. I mean, I'd rather pay the coach.
Really?
Yeah.
If you're the athletic director? Was that so? That's interesting. You'd rather pay the gymnastics coach $1 million because you can win a championship.
No, I'm not going to pay the. I'm sure the gymnastics team loses money.
Exactly. All right. So, anyways, is Oklahoma going broke? Is my final takes question for you. With all of this stuff popping up, they're going to cut 5%, or 15 people are going to be laid off due to looming rev share stuff. The one of the notations that they had in the column was the fact that he sent that on email, long email. I'm not going to read it because who cares. But the point was that they're going to what's the word? Maybe not full Pell, but the 20.5 million expected rev share number is like it'd be like the top of the cap for what you can spend in rev share. Not every school can get to that number, right? And this is the problem. Oklahoma's clearly not able to get to that number without cutting some staff members. Is Oklahoma broke?
That's the question?
That's the final take question.
The answer is yes. Now, you will not go broke if you go and eat at Texas Beef Traders, because you get 10% off anytime you go in. And listen, you know what else is going to happen? You're not going to get unhealthy. You're not going to get fat. You're going to be eating good quality, clean protein right from Mason, Texas. No vaccines, no antibiotics, no added hormones, no non-GMO feed. They eat grass. They live cow lives.
Cow lives.
They just live. They're out there living their life. They're not getting shot up with antibiotics. They're living pampered cow lives. You know that there's bovine nutritionists on staff out there at MTX Ranch. This herd's never been commingled with another. These animals are the best of the best. And once you get them and you get into the store and you try this beef, you're never going to want anything else. You just aren't. Texas Beef Traders is the best. It's right there in the heart of Lakeway. Loman's Crossing, 620. Go in there, man. Check it out this week. It'd be a great week. It's Memorial Day weekend. What better thing to do than to go in there and get some steaks, have some fun with your family, honor the fallen by enjoying the best that America has to offer, man. The things that, people we're here, we celebrate this weekend for the people who they paid the ultimate sacrifice so we could have our freedom. We could live this quality of life here in America. Well, I mean, it's such a serious subject. I'm not even joking to say, like, one of the things that I really enjoy about being free and living in America is being able to eat like delicious foods and stuff, having this available to me. Go to Texas Beef Traders. It's delicious. Get your 10% off. And if you can't make it into Lakeway, call up Darren, make your order, get your 10% off. He'll just bring it to your house. All right. Texas Beef Traders, TexasBeefTraders.com are great sponsors and great friends over there. Go check them out. All right. The next final takes question, Cody, is I put up this Poncho Outdoors QR code is in this part. Okay. Why on earth Would anyone accept a last-minute change to a Sunday away game for a season opener?
How dumb is that?
Why was people are like, Texas scared? What, scared? Like, please, like it's not scared.
This is
It's like it would be idiotic for Texas to say, yeah, let's go ahead and move that thing to Sunday night and ruin our whole game week of preparation.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, that's kind of ruin our whole game. Like, I think that's kind of, you're kind of a pansy for that. Like, if you're like, it's going to ruin our whole game because, well, you get an extra day of prep.
No, but for the next week.
Well, you got San Jose.
Still.
I get what you're saying. What I would say is my problem. So how'd you phrase it? You said, why on earth would anyone accept a last minute change to Sunday away game? I will say I have no idea when they were proposed it. So I can't comment on a last minute or not. Also, last minute, technically, we're like 5 months out. But what I would say is the way it was portrayed on the internet is the definition of internet, right? It wasn't like Texas declined to move the game from Saturday at noon to Sunday night. It was Texas declines night game in Columbus. That's my problem. Is the way it was portrayed on the internet. It was Texas declines night game, not Texas declines to move the game back 36 hours, right? To the next day and a night. And like you said, shorten the week. I think it's all stupid. I know it would be, you'd probably get a couple more eyeballs, but also if you move it to Sunday, if you moved it to Sunday today, like right now, at this exact moment, you go, all right, let's move it to Sunday. Here's what you'd be competing with. Head up with ABC, which everybody in America has, Notre Dame at Miami. Convicts versus Catholics. And if it's a 3:00 game, you'd get Virginia Tech at South Carolina. So, I mean, I know that's not a massive game, but that's a pretty big game for the East Coast anyway. So, I mean, there's two big games on Sunday. I know it's Texas, and I know it's Ohio State. It's a semifinal game last year. But
I mean, the Texas-Ohio State game would rule the roost. It's not. Like
I know it would, but that Notre Dame-Miami game carries weight.
I just think it's so stupid. It's like, no, we're not going to move it to Sunday. This has never been in the plans. You know, it had never been something that we had discussed. It's nothing that we had like talked about. What? Who are you yelling at?
My dog is like shredding up my rug.
Oh,
he gets like a little like and then he just starts like pawing stuff up, like just like as like playing around and stuff.
It looks like you were pretty tilted with the little guy, man. Gosh, I don't know. I mean, it's just so stupid, man. Just so dumb. Keep it on Saturday. Make him play it Saturday. Make him play it at noon. Make him play it at the hottest time of day. Don't let him do it at night. It's like, no, we're not gonna roll over and give you some kind of advantage here.
Like you said yesterday, it's Texas.
It's Texas. All right, let's see if I got another final takes we can get.
I got one.
Okay.
Dia Bell is competing in the Elite 11 and the Rivals 5-star event this summer. He wins MVP at one of them. Here's the list of the final roster for the Elite 11 that came out today. His name's at the top.
Yeah.
He's one of 3 5-stars.
North Carolina's got a guy at Elite 11, huh?
He just committed there yesterday. So he wins. He either wins there, or he wins at. He wins the MVP.
Did it used to just be 11?
I thought it used to be 11, but there's clearly more than 11 there. There's like 20.
It's like 20.
For the Rivals 5-star camp right now, the roster for Indianapolis, he is so it's him. He's the 8th overall quarterback according to Rivals. He'll be there. Is anybody ranked better? Brady Edmonds, a Ohio State quarterback. He's number 2 in the country. Henderson will be there as well. Peyton Houston will also be there, who's a 2027 kid.
Yeah.
Trey Taylor from Nebraska, the one that did the old hat flip to Illinois the other day.
Yeah.
And then Jonas Williams from USC. So you'll take Dia. He's top 5 at both events. Rated.
Dia Bell is impressive at these events.
So here's your final pick. Dia Bell wins MVP at one or both of them.
He'll win one.
You gonna shoot your shot?
Yeah, he's gonna be the QB MVP or the MVP of the whole thing.
Well, the Rivals 5-star, I'd say QB MVP.
Yeah, so he'll be QB MVP of the Rivals 5-star.
All right, I like that.
I think that there's a chance that somebody jumps up that I don't even know. Has a sick Elite 11 week, because in that he's competing against 19, the 19 best that they've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
That one he's probably how many quarterbacks going to be at the? I think he'll be the best quarterback at the 5-star. He's really good at these events. Let's see here. Onmore said in the War Room last night that the staff has pushed a few younger players into leadership roles on the team, but he didn't say who they were. But he said that there are a few guys that are younger than usual that they pushed up into leadership roles. Any guesses as to who?
Well, I would guess one of them is a receiver.
Wingo?
Probably. Parker might be a long shot sleeper.
Yep.
What
about? I mean, Colin Simmons is technically a young guy.
That's a good point. That's probably a good bet. Who else would it be other than that? Because it wouldn't be somebody that's new, right?
No.
You wouldn't want somebody that's new to be the one preaching culture. You want somebody that's been in the culture for at least a year.
I would think so.
I would say the best bet, probably Simmons, probably Wingo, probably Gooseby. That's probably the three.
Goosby's third year. Coming into third season.
I guess, but
I don't see it as I don't see that as being too young. I think is he old? I think he is. I think he's old enough to shop at Specs.
Texans know for selection and lower prices, it all starts at Specs. Shop Specs! No matter what's on the menu, we've got you covered. With all your favorites on tap, you'll bring home the win. Shop Specs! Special occasion? Flirt responsibly. Boots on, drinks up. The fun starts here.
Shop Specs, low priced, amazing. Here's to you.
All right. So a few more final takes here. Thanks so much to Specs. Thanks so much to Poncho Outdoors, of course. Texas Beef Traders, myperfectfranchise.net, man. All our great sponsors here on the show. Let's see. We talked about that one. Oh, dude, how about was this just I don't even really know what to Catch said in the War Room. So, and this was about the 85 scholarship limits, and if they go to 105. So he says,
great nugget.
If Texas wants to get very, very aggressive, there's a world out there in 2026 where Sarkisian could bring in 50 plus incoming scholarship players in the next 12 months.
Can I throw this back to you and ask you this question? This is real. I think this is very real.
I just don't see how it could be possible.
Why?
Well, I mean, I guess if they add 20 on, if the SEC, because if the SEC doesn't self-impose to 85, then
they already self-imposed for this year, right?
Yes, and
so for next year they switch it, and they have. He broke it down. He said they lose 13 seniors, so that brings them down to 71. Once you add in the likely attrition that happens, so that's 15 to 20. You're sitting at 51 to 55, which if you go into 105, then that gives you 50 to 54. And so if you up the number of freshmen from 25 to 35, then you have room for
20 transfers.
20 transfers? You had a whole other football team.
That's
a whole other football team.
I'll be like my grandma whenever like all the cousins were over there. Like she wouldn't even remember all our names. I wouldn't even. It'd be hard to keep up with who's who.
Here's my question. So you up your freshman class from 25 to 35. Cool. But being able to up your incoming transfer class from 10 to 20, does the ability to pay players And instead of going like big dog hunting, you just brought in 5 D tackles this cycle, right? Or 4.
Well,
I've lost
no.
damn count. So we had
Vard, Shaw, Watson,
Canoe,
Levon Johnson.
Levon Johnson. That's the one I always forget about. So you got 5. You got 5 D tackles this cycle. Next cycle, you can double the amount of players that come in. So that means you could add 5 more D tackles and you could add 5 offensive linemen. What?
Yeah, like I think, dude, Money B makes a good point. Money B makes a good point in the chat. Walk-ons will count in that number too.
Yeah, but
it's still 50 new players.
Yes, like you'll get your calling page, you'll get a scholarship. But I think the walk-on will be different. I think a walk-on will be different because if everybody gets 105, the walk-on, it's going to be a hard conversation. They're not going to hold 20 dudes that are like walk-on value in the scholarship spot. The majority of those dudes are going to go to Texas State, UTSA, where there's 105 scholarships and they can get a scholarship and be more likely to play a little bit. Texas, I feel like it's going to be more of like, you're going to maybe hold on to 5 dudes that you really like. You like Colin Page, cool, keep him. Stuff like Max Merrill, like he really die hard, right? You want to keep him, cool. But they're not in the business, I don't think, of just being like, yay, tag along. No, we're adding 3 dudes that left Power 5s and they're 350 pounds and we might get 10 snaps out of them.
Look at this from Glenn Keller. My grandma could remember all our names. But you know who will remember your name? Darren at Texas Beef Traders. It's true. You go in there one time, Darren will not forget your name. He might. There's a lot of stuff Darren's forgetful about, man. He's certainly not. It's like Cheers, dude. That's where everybody knows your name.
Do you think that's a cockamamie thought though about the walk-on stuff?
No.
Like, do you think walk-ons are going to be treated normal, even though they're like, do you think Texas is going to be like, oh yeah, we got 22 walk-ons and now they're just going to get scholarships? Like, I just don't think they're going to be like, oh, here's a scholarship. Like, it might happen for the first year, but I think as time goes on, you're going to be a lot less guys that don't do anything.
Do you know what I think it'll be like? I think it'll be like in high school, I wasn't on varsity when I was a sophomore, but I was one of these guys that whenever we got to the playoffs, they moved me from JV to the varsity scout team, and I got to travel with them and stuff like that. But I would just go out and give them looks and stuff, right? Like, yeah. I think maybe they won't call them walk-ons, but they'll just call them maybe like scout teamers. And those scout team guys could be, you can move your way up from scout team to being a starter easily. It's not like, I mean, I did it. You give a good enough look and you put it on film and eventually you get to play, or, you make it on the actual kind of team and you're not really scout team anymore. I think that would be something where you could maybe draw a little higher quality of athlete than your typical walk-on, but it would still be sort of like a little bit of an underclass compared to the true, maybe, 85 core team. Like maybe this group always wears like one of those black things on their helmets for all of practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Something. Do you think that it could be something like that?
Could be
like a blend.
Could be.
It's a cockamamie thought because it's a cockamamie thing that's happening in college football. None of us know what's going to happen.
Vivek says those players you're imagining won't want to come to be on the bench here, at least the good players. My combat to that would be, think about Travis Shaw from the perspective of not because Texas needs him now, but because he was once one of the best defensive tackles in his recruiting class. And he's he's kind of not fulfilled, right? And instead of dropping down to a Texas State, you take, you go to Texas and you're the 5th D tackle and you not only learn for a year from a great room, great coaching staff. I look at it from that perspective and saying, like, even if the guy is only in Texas for a year, and maybe Texas doesn't want that. Obviously, Texas doesn't want that. They want guys that are contribute. But from a player perspective, why you would want to go to Texas? Because I want to learn from the best and be the best. and I want to earn that role. And if I don't earn that role, I'm going to learn for a year, and then I'll, you've already transferred once, transfer again, go to freaking Iowa and then start. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's all fugazi, but
Yeah.
I just don't think that the walk-ons are going to be treated as. I know they're going to be on scholarship in this hypothetical once 105 comes through, but I don't think it'll just be like, well, the 20 guys we got as walk-ons are just now going to get scholarships.
All right, final one here. It's Memorial Day weekend. Are you going to be moving this weekend, or are you going to have any time to cook up Memorial Day?
I'm going to be moving all day tomorrow and Sunday. We have a cookout on Sunday night at a doctor's house, and then on Monday my family comes in, so I'll probably get to grill a little bit.
Okay, so what's the perfect Memorial Day meal? This is the over the top, like this is like
perfect or classic? Perfect or like I think to me perfect and just like what always ends up happening or like the go-to is different.
Okay, well, what's the okay, so give both.
All right, well, the perfect would just be a fat ribeye in a glass of some Disaronno. And I
can't believe that you wouldn't want something like a better type of liquor than that stupid amaretto.
But that's just me for everything. The go-to and the natural, the common thing is just I already bought it. It's Johnsonville beer brats and corn on the cob.
That's the normal thing,
bro. That's Midwestern. That's Midwestern Memorial Day right there. That's go to the lake, bring the little charcoal grill with you, pop it up in the sand in the sandbar. Corn on the cob and brats.
Okay.
Just classic, basic, limited work. You can't mess it up.
Okay. That's fine. I think for me, yeah, I think that the best is probably still burgers. Like good burgers, maybe like definitely Texas Beef Traders, but maybe get the Wagyu bacon to put on top.
Oh.
Just meat, cheese, bacon, burger sauce. I got some fresh tomatoes coming in. I know that it's like I don't generally like tomatoes on this stuff.
What is
it's giant?
Sauce? What's the is that like
put the burger sauce on both sides? I mean,
gotcha.
Like the top and the bottom.
Is that like horseradish, hollandaise? What's your?
No, I'll tell you, man. You take
that fancy sauce? Is that ketchup and mayo? What is
you mix up ketchup, mayo, Worcestershire, and then you just toss like whatever your favorite spice in there is. I have a favorite spice. You guys are all hopefully about to have a new favorite spice.
Soon.
That's my favorite. Is just to do that. And so that kind of burger, and then I would say what would be what's perfect? You got to have maybe a side. Oh, dude, that would be really good. Like,
yeah,
like loaded mashed potato or something like that. Like a loaded mashed potato.
Twice baked.
Yeah, dude. And then maybe some kind of, I don't know, like just maybe some kind of, a iceberg lettuce wedge salad, a blue cheese lettuce wedge salad.
God dang wedge.
Yeah.
How are you going to eat a wedge out in the yard when you're relaxing?
You relax and eat the wedge. It's delicious. So
voting's done.
So
I'm closing.
Don't tell me that they voted for your beer brats and corn.
No. End poll.
Who wins?
13 votes.
That's all?
Pitiful.
Gosh, there are almost 500 people watching. 13.
There's more than 13 people commenting. I think there's literally more than 13 different people commenting here. Yeah. 13 votes. The score was 46 to 30 to 23.
Who's the third candidate?
The winner.
Who?
Money B.
Oh, Money B. All right. Congrats, Money B. We gotta get you a pack of beef sticks over there at Texas Beef Traders next time we see you, brother.
The winner gets a final take in here.
At the end of the summer workouts, we will hear about a freshman DB pushing for a starting spot. Be interested to hear which one he thinks it is. Jonah? No. Could it be? Cade?
Dude. Yeah, Cade.
All right. All right. Now you can email us fwfemails@gmail.com. You can find us on X at Cody Carpentier, at Alex Dunlap NFL. We'll see you guys next week, but we will be we have some shows already pre-recorded for y'all. Yeah, that'll I think they're good. Shorter than usual, but bangers. And then Friday we'll be back for Final Takes Live. Here again, a final just a big time Final Takes, man, next week. So make sure that you're here for it. But yeah, enjoy Memorial Day weekend. We talked about it earlier, but it truly is a and look, I never served. I have family who served. I don't have any family that I'm aware of who died. But I would always my uncle and my grandfather, they'd always say like I'd be like on Memorial Day weekend, I'd be like, happy Memorial Day to all our veterans. And it's a day to remember all of them who died and stuff. And I know it's good to say that, but I think from the veterans that I've known, they say like, hey man, this like, we got our day. This day is not for me. Like I'm here and I'm alive. Like this day is for the people who died. So, just if you have the time this weekend, I know it's fun to have the day off, and we're celebrating the freedom that those people died for. But yeah, man, it's a super heavy thing to do, but take a minute to remember, man. There's a lot of this place is a special place, man, and people have died for it. They've died for this place, a lot of them. So, I recommend just taking a minute to let that sink into your heart at some point over the weekend. It's kind of why we have the holiday. All right. So with all that said, love you guys, man. God bless you. We'll be here to talk to you soon. Let's see. Alex, give me 1 second to send one super chat. Money B won Final Takes.
We bow down to Money B. Give him another minute. David Keith Williams with a bar. I mean, we brought up Cade Phillips.
By the end of the season, I think. Oh gosh. Well, you got name dropped a little bit today on our broadcast earlier.
We did a team draft. You guys have to watch out for that one. That'll come out next week. We did a team draft. We went back and forth and picked out the players. So
Money B's trying to run out. Here's the thing. I love Money B, and I don't want to get him in any trouble where he sends a super chat and we log off. But I can't keep stalling here. I can't keep stalling for forever. So Money B, hopefully if you get it, they send you the refund, man. It's about time to get out of here, though. All right. So love you guys. Money B, don't send the super chat. Okay. We love you guys. God bless you.
Save it for next week. Yeah. Final Takes.
For Cody, I'm Alex. We're done.